I'm Takara. I'm an assistant for Mr. Ijuin, the famous torturer sommelier. I'm Chihaya Godai. I'm an informant. I started working for Mr. Ijuin many years ago. I've learned a lot over the years, and we can't do what we do without help from others. Like Godai-san here, he's always providing us with vital information. Glad I could be of help. Mr. Ijuin pays me well, so... Sometimes I gotta risk my life to get good intel, but it's well worth it. I got a picture of all the people that help us. Take a look. Yeah, I'm just an ordinary guy, but everyone else here, the warriors. Look at them. If they work together, there's nothing you can do to get away from them. Tell me about it. These people are ruthless. When he started, I was the only one who helped him, but he's come a long way. Hey, how did you two meet? I first met him when I was a teenager. If you want to know more, it's gonna cost you. Well, let's get started, shall we? Let's see how everyone ended up here. Godai-san, I look forward to hearing about how you met Mr. Ijuin. Hey now, I don't mind telling you about the others, but I don't talk about myself. Please, sir. Mr. Ijuin talks about you all the time. I have to know your past. First up, Emma. She's great at luring out criminals with her stunning looks. Yeah, how could anyone say no to her? She's got quite a story, though. You know about her past? Yeah, only Mr. Ijuin and I know about it. Emma is a kind-hearted person. She's always doing everything she can to help the victims. It all started back in high school. High school? Yeah, she met Mr. Ijuin as a client. I introduced her to him.
Please, I don't have much money right now, but please, I need you to kill them.
What?
She asked him to avenge her family. She came to his office with $200 in her hands. So that's why she's always helping us out. In tomorrow's episode, we're going to take a closer look at how she hunts down criminals. Next up, the best doctor in the world, according to Mr. Ijuin. Dr. Himuro. He used to be an incredible surgeon. I heard he saved countless people. That's right. But then, he just didn't have enough time for all of his patients. And his boss, he started playing favorites. He taught him to focus on the rich patients, those with real power. Then one day, this little girl got rushed to the ER. She needed surgery right away, but his boss told him to forget about her and perform surgery on a different man who appeared to be a politician. After that, he beat the crap out of his boss, and that's how he lost his job. After that, he started working as an underground doctor. He's not the friendliest guy, but he's a very nice man. Sometimes we get too rough with our victims, but he fixes them up for us so they'll suffer for longer. Yeah, I heard about that. By the way, he's got strong ties with the Amao family as well. When Kabuto lost his arm, he fixed him right up. They say the Amao family wouldn't be where they are today if it wasn't for Himura. Torturer sommelier. It's probably not a phrase you hear every day. Probably not, and I'd say that's a good thing. Well, let's take a quick look at what a tortured sommelier does.
Rukawa. The law is there to punish criminals, but at the same time, it tries to rehabilitate the criminal, so they can go back to being a functioning member of society someday. But from the victim's perspective, sometimes this seems unfair. If the criminal regrets the act and feels remorse, maybe it works, but some people, they just don't care. They hurt others and feel nothing. What then? How are they supposed to live with that? Killing the people responsible? It's the only way to set things right. That's where I come in. I torture them and make them suffer. I make sure they die slow. Our job is to make these criminals suffer, and to help our clients move on with their lives.
This one time I helped him catch a powerful politician. I snapped his leg in half. Anyways, it's our job to catch criminals and serve true justice to them. Oh, and another thing. Mr. Julian has a code. He always uses torture methods that's been used in history before. In the course of human history, they invented all kinds of sick ways to torture people. That's right. When he's not killing people, he's usually in his study going over historical documents. He's very passionate about his research. Historical torture methods are a reflection of the dark side in all of us. It shows us how far humans will go to hurt others. It's not pretty, but there it is. There are other torture sommeliers as well, right? Oh yeah, there are criminals in every country, and unfortunately some of them get away. That's where the torture sommelier comes in. That's right! And the torture sommeliers all know each other, so you can never escape them, no matter where you run. Let's take a look at some of the torture sommeliers out of the country. I've heard about them. First up, Mr. JJ. He lives in the Philippines. During the day, he's a pastor. He's loved by everyone in his community. We had this guy once. He was a famous YouTuber who took advantage of innocent women, and he helped us take him out. Mr. JJ knows Kali, a form of martial arts practiced in the Philippines. He usually uses a club to annihilate his victims.
Get up! I'm not done with you! Ah! Oh!
The other day, he used a baseball bat to take out the victim. Next up from Iran, Mr. Azar. He uses an iron ball with spikes to hurt his victims. Shame on your legs! He was really good at breaking legs. I had a lot to learn from him. Next up from England, Sophia. Her ancestors were knights. You do not want to be on her bad side. She uses weapons used in actual combat throughout history.
Take that! And that! How'd you like that, huh?
She has a wide collection of weapons. Sometimes Mr. Ajuin buys weapons from her. Yep. Next up, Darius from Romania, a descendant of the Wallachia. He uses this big spear to torture his victims. I heard he likes to enjoy a nice glass of wine while he watches his victims suffer. I do not want to be on his bad side. Well, it's getting late. Tell me about yourself, Mr. Godai. Fine, but I don't usually do this. Thank you. I don't know what my parents look like. What? They abandoned me when I was little. I was homeless. I was out in the streets all by myself. That's when I realized that information was a powerful tool. Back then, I was living in the park, and a lot of criminals came by to hide from the cops. I heard all kinds of things, and I sold the information for money. That's how I survived. Godai-san. So you became an informant when you were a kid? Oh yeah, I've been doing this for quite a while. Now I can tell if someone is lying just by looking at their eyes. Then when I turned 11, I met Mr. Ajuin. He just lost his parents. I knew he wasn't the same, but we got along really well. We became great friends in no time. If you ever need an informant, let me know!
Thanks, man!
Back then, he was trying to track down the people who killed his parents, so I decided to help him out any way I can. Oh no, look at the time. I gotta wrap this up, sorry. What? Oh, come on! Ukawa, information is valuable. You shouldn't just give it away like that. Maybe some other time, okay? Alright. Anyways, hope you enjoyed today's video. See you all in the next one.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out our other videos. And please subscribe to the channel.